Hello and welcome to City Hall for tonight's live coverage of Election Night 2023. I'm Matt Bisaccio alongside Trish Pope, and it's a pivotal night here in the city of Marlborough with the mayoral race. Tonight we'll be electing the 44th mayor in the history of Marlborough. And in addition to that, we've got a slew of city council seats available. Trish, aside from the mayoral race, because everyone's obviously interested in that, what other ward races are you looking forward to this evening?
Well, there's a lot of ward races going on here tonight, and this is, I think, the most active election season since I first ran in 1997. So we have never seen this many council seats up for grabs. We have 3 vacant seats, and then we have a councilor who has chosen not to run for re-election, so that makes 4. We have some opponents in some seats, so this is going to be a changing night for Marlborough for sure.
Yeah, so at a minimum, we'll have 3 new councilors, but potentially 7 new councilors and a new mayor. That's a ton of turnover for one election cycle.
And in 1997, we had 7 new councilors and 1 new mayor.
Yeah.
So it's amazing how it's all so cyclical.
Yeah. So as you said, you were a city councilor at one point.
I was.
So can you give me a little bit of perspective? You know, you go through the whole campaign process, debates, a primary election. Now you're here. It's election night. Can you tell me what it's like for candidates going through this?
Absolutely. You're sitting on pins and needles. You've been out all day. You've been up since 5 or 6 o'clock this morning. You've been out at every polling place. If you're a ward councilor, you've been at your one place all day. You are exhausted, you're cold, you're tired, even on the most beautiful day, which I will say today was not a bad day.
Gorgeous day here in Marlborough.
But you know what? You're cold, you're tired, and you're nervous.
Yeah. Now, the candidate that we will not be voting for today is Mayor Vigent, who has elected to not run this time around. It's going to be the first time in nearly 30 years that Arthur Vigent will not show up on a ballot here in Marlborough. Again, you were a city councilor back when he was city council president?
I served with him before he was the council president, and I served with him when he was the council president. He's had a great run here in the city, and I am so proud to say that I got to work with him and to be his friend. And for him to walk away, he knows in his heart when it's time to go home. And good for him. Good for him to, he has put the city in such great standards. We are the envy of everybody around us. So good for him. We will miss him, but we're in for a whole new style.
That's right, that's right. Now, thankfully, for everyone watching at home, Trish is here. Otherwise, I would have had to do this alone tonight, and that would have been painful. So Trish, can you share the good news with about your family?
So my family today welcomed Scott William Pope.
Oh, that's
at
great.
12:14 this afternoon, our very first grandchild, and we are so very proud and so very, very delighted.
Oh, that's wonderful news.
Yeah.
Well, your family is certainly a winner tonight.
They sure are.
We'll find out about the other winners and losers as the night goes on. But Trish, like as you will have during the Labor Day parade, you've got some fun facts for us, right?
I always have some fun facts.
All right, why don't you take it away?
All
Share
right.
some of them with us.
So, let's see, now you're catching me off guard.
Uh-oh.
So who was the 4th person to serve as mayor during 2 different years? Now we're going to the way back. We're not going to like the just yesterday. Okay.
We have any guesses from the peanut gallery? Anybody want to take a stab at it?
Houston J. Haddad hold the distinction of being a mayor to serve 4 terms, non-consecutive.
So he was elected 4 different times?
He was.
How about that?
And we had 2 mayors that died in office.
Okay.
Lewis Farley in 1916. He died the same year as Louis Ingle, who was mayor in 1938.
How about that?
That is. We have.
I don't know how fun that is, but it's definitely a fact. No.
Okay, so I have a trivia question. Since
All right.
1924, can you name the person who served in all 3 capacities? Mayor, city councilor, and school committee. Since 1924. And you probably should know this one, Matt.
I should.
You probably should.
Well, if that's the case, if you're putting out a T for me, I'm going to say Arthur Vigent.
It was not. It was Nancy Stevens.
Oh, okay.
Nancy
All right.
Stevens served for mayor from 2006 2011.
Okay.
She was a counselor at large from 2003 to 2005, and she served on the school committee from 2000 to 2003.
Okay.
She's the only person who has been mayor who has served in all three capacities.
All right. Well, I do know Nancy Stevens. My knowledge of mayors goes back as far as Dennis Hunt. But before that, it's going to be tough for me.
So what else do we have tonight? Mayor Vigin is the only mayor in our history to be elected for 4 consecutive terms.
It's a heck of a run. Absolutely, heck of a run from the mayor.
It was a heck of a run, but you know what? Originally, the city had a 1-year term. In 1924, we modified the charter to Plan B, which we had a 2-year term. So we have several mayors that served 2 years or more, and they were Charles Lyons, Carlton Allard, Romeo Gadbois, now we're getting into some names we know, Cusin Haddad, who again served not consecutively but 2 different terms, Joe Ferrecchia, William J. Morrow, and Nancy Stevens.
A 1-year term, though. It doesn't seem like you'd be able to get much done within the course of just 1 year, you know, having turnover like that.
And you know what? It's really hard to do anything in 2 years. I think it's, you know, having served as a city councilor, it's a good 16, 18 months before you can get anything off your desk
So
to
you
begin.
think these terms should be extended?
Personally,
Yeah.
I have always thought the mayor's term should be 4 years.
Okay.
I think, you know, I mean, when you look at other communities and other charters, I've always thought the mayor's term should be 4 years.
Well, let's see if that's something that happens down the road.
If we're going
maybe.
to talk about it, let's talk about it. I'll tell you, I think that the city council should be odd-evened. I don't think the entire city council should be up at the same time.
Right.
I think there needs to be some historical knowledge and people that can guide it through, but
Well, because
I don't
if
get
you-
to write the rules.
No, of course. But if you look at a situation like we have right now, where you could
Mm-hmm.
potentially have 7 new councilors out of 11 and a new mayor, it's going to take quite some time for this new council to get its feet under them and to be able to really get
Absolutely.
anything done. And then you talk about all the old business that wasn't accomplished that will be scrapped off the table, or they're going to have to start it all over again. So
Exactly.
it's a difficult spot. So I agree. You should be
I
staggered.
hope that
so
this
way
new
you don't have
council
something
looks
like
at the
this.
charter. It's not an easy thing to open up, but I think they need to look at the charter and we need to, you know, modify it just a little bit to make a little more continuity. School committee has continuity, city council does not.
Okay.
School committee, 3 year up, 3 year not, you know?
Any more facts?
Well, I have another fun fact.
Okay.
Because we have 2 young people
Sure.
running for mayor
Albert
this time.
Trey-Fucillo. And who was the other one on your?
No, running for mayor.
Oh,
We
running
have
for
two
mayor. I
very
apologize.
young
Yes,
people running
yes,
for mayor.
absolutely.
So we have 2 mayors that were elected at the age of 29.
I don't know.
I should have told you
Let's
to do
see.
your homework.
That's-
Oh, we're seeing for the.
Can I phone a friend? Can I phone a friend?
Phone a friend. Mike Hogan is one of them. Michael Hogan is one of them. I don't think
Okay.
you're going to know the other one. You had to do your
Probably
history.
not. It's,
Edward J. Plunkett,
okay, and when was?
1899 to 1900.
No, that's right. You know, it was on the tip of my tongue.
All right. All right, we got 2 that maybe you might have.
Okay.
2 mayors that have served unopposed. That have, I'm sorry, excuse me, run unopposed.
Okay. Mayor Vigent.
Mayor Vision is one.
Nice. All right.
You probably maybe might know this one. Again, we're going to phone a friend over here. Mayor Ferrecchia. Good job, Mike Lawton.
Way to go, Mike. Way to go.
So we have more fun facts to follow.
All right, and we've got plenty of time, and we'll certainly get to some of those as the night goes on. But the polls, it's past 8 o'clock, so the polls are closed. Unfortunately, we don't have any information for you just yet, but as it does become available, we will certainly pass it along to you as soon as possible. So don't go anywhere. We'll have your live coverage here from City Hall as the night progresses here on WMCT-TV.
So we're back, and some of the candidates are starting to trickle into City Hall. With me tonight, right now, is Tiona Brown, who's running for re-election in Ward 4, a ward that is near and dear to my heart.
Why is that?
Well, I don't know, maybe I held that seat for some time.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
Big
so how are
shoes
you
to
feeling
fill.
tonight?
I'm I'm feeling like it's after 8 p.m. on election night, and we don't have the results yet. So I do have my phone in my lap, and I'm waiting for my friend Pam McNair to reach out with the results so I know officially. And it could happen while I'm sitting right here. You never know.
So Ward 4 votes at the Senior Center, which for any of you don't know, I might hang out there a lot because I work there, and I saw you there this morning when I came into work. I saw you this afternoon when I left work. It's a very, very long day.
Yes.
Having been there myself many times, you rely on your family and friends.
Yep.
And take a minute to say thank you to them.
Absolutely. I want to say thank you to anyone who supported me on my campaign, most especially my husband Chris, my son Tanner, my parents Gary and Susan, my brother-in-law Scott, just about anybody in the community that's even just taken a moment to say kind words to me, maybe not critiquing any of my communications too heavily from the different publications.
And you know what, Tiona, you're right. It's not easy because you're up for public scrutiny all the time. And to run for public office, you put your family up there too.
Yeah.
So to be thanking your family, good for you, because you couldn't do it without them. I know that firsthand.
Oh, absolutely. My son was outside for most of the day holding a sign as well. He took a little break. He plays drums over at the Rock Institute. So he had a drum lesson, band practice there. And then when he came back, and this might be my favorite story from Election Day, it's a very blustery day, and he was holding one of my signs. The wind actually blew him down. And he wasn't protecting. I would have known that, but nope, it took him right down. He rolled.
But for anybody that's watching this that doesn't understand, it was a no school day. So I don't want you to think Tana was out of school
Yes,
today.
that's
Election
right.
day is a no school day because many of our schools are polling locations.
Yes, and I'm a teacher, so if he did have school, he would have been there.
So how are you feeling about this election?
I'm feeling pretty good. I had the opportunity to meet my opponent at the debate, and we shared kind words, and I think we both just tried our hardest and answered with truth and honesty when questions came our way, and then it's just up to the voters.
Right, and Tiona's opponent is Thomas Dalton tonight, who again portrayed himself as a kind, caring individual for the city. So and it's not easy to put your name up there or put your person up there. So congratulations to both of you.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck tonight.
Thank you.
Hopefully it ends soon for you.
Hopefully. And thank you. I just also want to thank anybody who went out to cast their vote in general today. Ooh, whether it was for me or anyone else, I really appreciate anybody's participation in the voting process, and the municipal elections are super important. We affect your day-to-day life, so.
Municipal government
Yes.
touches your life every single day.
Yes, so
and
thank
people
you.
do need to know that.
Yes, so thank you if you voted for me, but thank you for just coming out if you came out.
Thanks, Tiona, for joining us.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Well, welcome back, and some of the numbers are starting to roll in. And the counselor for Ward 1 is an unprecedented winner. Congratulations, Counselor Vital.
That's a good thing. I was worried about Mickey Mouse having a write-in vote, but I squeezed through.
So Counselor Vital, Mark Vital, is one of the few candidates this time that had no opponent, and Mark is actually walking into this seat. It's a vacated seat by Laura Wagner,
Yes.
who chose not to run for re-election. She is relocating her family to be closer to family and left a seat wide open. Were you surprised nobody else stepped up to run?
Historically, Ward 1 hasn't had awful lot of competition over the years. I really thought that, with the changing environment here in town, that there would be, and a couple projects, the McGee Farm and just Route 20 and a couple other things. I thought there might be some other ones stepping up. I don't know if I'm
There's
lucky
been some
or
big competitions in Ward 1. I remember back to the Natalie Lashmit, Robert Katz years.
Yes, I remember that
You know,
myself,
Natalie
yeah.
Lashmit held that seat for a very long time. Robert Katz came in and won by a very small margin and held on to that seat for another 10 or 12 years.
Right, till Joe came along.
And, until Councilor Delano came along, and I think he also he might have had an opponent. I apologize to the viewers tonight because I don't know that fun fact, but I know Joe Delano was the Ward 1 city councilor for 10 or 12 years.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then he walked away to, take care of his business and his family. He has a very growing family. He has a lot of grandchildren now.
He sure does.
Congratulations, Councilor Delano. And so now here you are.
Here I am.
So you've always been interested in politics. I know that because I've known you for a long time.
Yes.
So what's your goal?
First of all, I just want to thank those who did vote for me today. I hope that I can follow the shoes of Laura Wagner. I think they're tough shoes to fill. Laura was the first, living in Marlborough my entire life outside of the time I spent in the service. She was the first person who knocked on my door and asked me for a vote. And from that day on, I respected her tremendously. She was a great communicator, so I hope that I can communicate similar to her with regular newsletters out to my constituents. I just, I don't. Some folks say that the only time you see your politicians is as they're getting prepared for an election, and I'm hoping that through social media and through just being out there in the community, that I can. Just be like the guy down, the neighbor that they trust and that they appreciate.
So I have to ask you, because I apologize, I didn't, I'm not that well versed in your campaign. How did you reach out to your voters? Was it through social media, or did you knock on doors?
Well, you have to get your signatures, right? So that required a number of doors knocking. And then over the last maybe month, I went around and knocked on neighborhoods and put down some, I had some door hangers that, if someone didn't answer, and I respect that. Sometimes I knock on the door and I'd see them in there and they wouldn't come to the door.
Well, it's a
And they
different
don't know me.
world.
Right, well,
Exactly,
I'm a
it's a
scary-looking
different
guy,
world. Yeah.
so they...
No, you're not, but it's a different world.
It is, so, and then just recently, I was invited to some block parties, that one down in Carisbrook recently. I went over and talked with the head of the association at the Villages, Jimmy, who kind of gave me some, he appreciated the fact that I went to him first instead of just knocking on the doors down there. So it's just getting out there and just being visible. I think a lot of people in my ward know me from other things that I've done around town, whether it's, during COVID, I was doing a number of things with restaurants and with parades to go around and recognize the nursing homes and stuff like that. So I think just through social media, a lot of people have known me over the years, in particular the last 5 years.
So what's your goal to keep connected with your neighborhood now that you are their city councilor?
Yeah, again, it's just, for example, I was talking to Bob Davis today, who's the head of this informal Carisbrook neighborhood. They have a Facebook page. So he wants me to have regular updates on that Facebook page. I think through social media is one of the top ways that I can reach out to the majority of folks within my ward. But again, I'm hoping that people that do have neighborhood parties, that do have holiday parties, that they offer an invite to.
So you're a party guy.
Yeah, I am. It's in my blood.
No, that's awesome. So best of luck to you. Like you said, you have big shoes to fill.
Thank you.
There's a lot going on in the city. I'm sure you're up to speed because I do know that your role at AMSA, you've been a community man for a long time. Right. It's a whole new chapter in your life.
It is.
So
one thing, if I could, just for a second, is that some of my colleagues that will be in the council and maybe even in the head office, they talk about Marlborough needs change, and I'm not from that. I'm not from that position at all. I think Arthur has done a phenomenal job as our mayor over the last 12, 16 years as mayor, and then prior to that as a councilor. I think I don't think there's a greater cheerleader of Marlboro than myself, and everywhere I go, I talk about the things that we should be happy about. In fact, I created a Facebook page, everything positive about Marlboro, and that because there's so much to be positive about. Are there things that we can fix? Yeah, there are, but that's a small number compared to all the good stuff that we have in town.
And tonight, I'm just going to caution everybody that comes before me and before us and speaks with us tonight is Facebook is not the only way to reach out to our
No,
people.
That's definitely.
There are many, many people that aren't on Facebook, and I do worry about that because we are becoming such a social media world.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately and unfortunately.
That's
There's
right.
goods and bads
That's
with
right.
everything, but I don't want to forget the people that don't have the ability to do that or don't have the want to do
No,
that.
that's true. Very
Right,
true.
so newspaper articles, I know newspapers are a thing of the past, but there's other ways to reach out to people.
We have an incredible local access channel too, so hopefully that's a regular
We
opportunity.
do, we do. You know, my sons and I were talking about campaigns back in the day when we used to do a lit drop. I don't even think anybody knows what a lit drop is anymore.
No, I don't.
When we used to take our literature and go door to door
Oh,
and,
yeah.
put them under your doormat or in your door frame or
Yep, yep.
something. People just don't do that anymore.
I
So
got
it's-
hangers, I can, look,
Did you bring one with you? There you go. A mock vital hanger. Here we go. So I wish you the best of luck. I
Thank
know
you.
you've got a big challenge ahead of you, but I will say our mayor has left us in great standing.
I think he has.
As has your ward councilor, Laura Wagner.
Absolutely.
Who's done well for your ward, so best of luck.
thank you kindly, I appreciate it.
So we're back again, and as election nights go, usually the ward races are declared much sooner than the at-large or the mayoral race. And tonight I'm here with Albert Trey Ficillo, who is our new Ward 6 city councilor. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
So we were
it.
just having a discussion about your name because
Right.
I've tripped over it and I'm not sure what to call you. So you go by Trey.
Yes.
But Albert is a long family name.
Yeah, no, all my neighbors know me as Trey. A lot of the folks here in Marlboro, people here at City Hall, have called me Trey my whole life. But yeah, Albert's a family name. My father's first name is Albert. His father's first name is Albert. My great-grandfather's middle name was Albert. And we believe his father's name was also Albert. So it's a long family name. It's stuck around for a long time. But you can, really, neighbors can call me whatever they want. So,
Right, so you
yeah.
go by Albert Trey.
Yep.
Okay, so when we get to be friends, I can call you Trey?
Absolutely. You can
Or
call me Trey
counselor.
now. You can call me Trey.
Counselor. Well, congratulations to
appreciate
you.
it. I
Your
really
very
do.
first run
Yep.
at a city council race.
Yeah.
You picked the Ward 6 race because you live there.
Absolutely.
And why'd you pick a ward race?
I thought it was important to give back to the community that's really molded me and kind of made me who I am. I've said it throughout the campaign, and I really do mean it. I think if I was born anywhere else, I wouldn't be doing this. I'm doing this because of Marlboro. Marlboro's really shaped me in so many different ways.
So explain that just a little bit.
I mean, growing up as a kid, our neighborhood is really tight-knit. I grew up in the Fort Meadow community. I still live there today. And it's just, our neighbors are always looking out for each other. Today at the polls, I felt like our whole street was there, our whole block was there, just people that I've known my whole life who've really fostered this engagement, getting to know your neighbors, getting to love your neighbors. That's the type of community that we are, and that's why I decided to run for city council, because I felt like we really needed somebody who's going to be there, somebody who's going to really uplift our community, look out for our neighbors, and that's what I want to do. And I've told, I met some folks outside here, they're in Ward 2. I said, it doesn't matter, we're still neighbors.
Right.
So, yeah, that's a...
So, and one of the other fun facts that I don't think a lot of people know is you're a college student.
I am, yeah.
Where are you going to college?
I'm going to Emerson College in Boston. I commute just like anybody else who had a job in Boston. I know a lot of the city councilors have day jobs. Some of them are still in school. So it's been definitely, I see myself as being no different, and it's been really amazing. I mean, I work part-time. I work at the college that I currently attend, so it's great. I'm able to work, take classes, get home, and campaign for city council.
So you are going to be one busy man.
Yeah.
Come January.
Yeah.
When is your expected graduation?
In about a year, roughly a year. So I'm a couple credits ahead. I should be wrapping up soon, hoping to expedite that process and and get us moving.
All right, just as a mother, I'm going to ask why would you want to expedite that process?
Absolutely.
College is so fun.
Well, I love Marlboro, and I want to serve. I want to do a good job with our city council. I've worked here at City Hall for roughly the last 2 years, and I've really gotten to learn this community and what it takes to run a sustainable city. And so for me, I just want to get to work. That's
Okay,
that's
so
what I
your
wanna
goal
do.
for Ward 6 is?
I think the biggest thing is being accountable, being able for residents to come and meet me for me to meet them where they are and vice versa, knowing that I'm an open book. I was fielding calls today at the polls, people who had some concerns, people who had some last minute questions before they head to the polls. So all those little things that you can do as a ward councilor, really being there for people, that's what I'm looking forward to most.
You're talking to the choir right here, because I was a ward counselor
I
for
know,
many years.
I know.
So, you know, it's a great job.
Yeah.
It is a great job. I will caution you, your life is not your own anymore. You can't go to the grocery store, you can't go
Sure.
anyplace
I'm
else,
looking
but that's
forward
why
to it.
you do it.
Absolutely.
That's why you do it.
Absolutely.
So it's very exciting for you. I mean, I don't think, can I be bold?
Go for it.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
21, so you might be our youngest.
I think I get beat out by a few months. I know
Steve
there-
Leduc?
Steve Leduc, I think, was a little older than me. I'm not sure. He can correct me if I'm wrong. I thought he might have been 22. He may have
Okay.
been 21. I'm not sure. But I know there was a gentleman in the 70s, and I'm blanking on his name right now, which I apologize. But I believe he was 20. I could be
And
wrong.
I should know
but
that fun
all
fact. I
good.
apologize
all
as well.
good. We'll ask the clerk. I know he's right next door. I think he's busy
We'll
today.
phone a friend and
He's
we'll
busy
get back
today,
to you
but
on that one.
Sure.
That's
sure,
right.
Absolutely.
So that's very exciting for
Yeah.
you. I'm really happy for you. I think
Appreciate
that, you know, I mean, it has, your major in college, is it?
Political communication, which,
Wow.
yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
I know, real surprise. I think voters are shocked when I say
Yeah,
that.
no, that's awesome. And Marlboro's a great place to put your roots down
Absolutely.
and learn the politics here.
Yeah,
We might be a city, but we're a small town, and we love
Absolutely.
our politics, as you well know.
Oh, yeah.
So congratulations and
Appreciate it.
welcome to the team. We're so happy to have
I
you.
appreciate it. I'm really happy to be here and can't wait to give back.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And we're back again. So, you know, as the night wears on, the candidates start trickling into City Hall. And we are here with two of our school committee candidates that have run unopposed for 5 terms and 4 terms.
Yep,
Both, all terms unopposed.
No.
No, all right. Tell us about that.
Last time, Maureen Brennan ran,
I believe so.
yes, against us for school committee, but I think this.
And that is the difference with school committee. It's kind of like counselor at large. Right. So you just
Yes.
put your hat in the ring and you're just running for the seat.
For the seat, correct.
yeah.
Correct. So, yeah, so the 3 of the 4 terms I've run unopposed.
Okay. And how about you, Catherine?
If I remember correctly, I think I've actually had opposition for 2 times. My first time, I definitely had opposition, and that was concerning up front because you're putting your hat in a ring for the first time, and a little bit of pressure. But each time, it's concerning because you want to be doing the right thing, and you're doing it on behalf of the kids and the staff, but also for your whole community. So, always.
So having spent so much time on school committee for both of you, because you folks are lucky enough to not all be up at the same time.
Yes, and actually, I think that's really important. It's nice to have kind of a turnover every 2 years because it really allows for there to be some form of veteranship, if you will, that understands about how to go about the budgeting process, understanding what our roles really are, because it's really about hiring, firing, if you will, of the superintendent, policy changes, and the financial responsibilities for our overall budget. And you need to have some kind of continuity. So having it every 2, it really helps to make sure that there's a vested interest, but there's also then potential of change if necessary to make things go.
I couldn't agree with you more. And certainly our schools have seen a lot of change in the time that you both have been there.
Yeah, and having a 4-year term also allows us to sink our teeth into things. Yes, there's been a lot of change, but then we become the constant, and having the knowledge base of what's been going on and what changes need to happen.
Right, and change is not a bad thing
No.
as far as schools go.
No.
Because it changes every day. Education
Exactly.
changes every day.
Exactly.
But I have to ask, I've heard this a lot during the council campaigns. Our new school, is it at capacity?
Beyond.
So are we looking at a new school here in the
Yes.
city?
Oh, yes. There is, I believe, we will be putting forth the next steps before the end of the year, and for the city council to approve as well, because we have to approve it, and then the city council will have to approve it,
And
which is
just
a feasibility
Just a
study.
quandary for the community, do you think the new school should be cited?
Yeah, I think that it's a long process, as many folks would understand from the process that we had to go through for Good Now. It's basically like a 4 or 5 year process. So we're really in the early stages. We're hoping to make a next step with before the end of the year, but really I think February is our next major benchmark once the new administration, if you will, for the city would come into place. And we have certain parameters that we need to meet for the SBA to be able to fund things. It is all around Richer and the Richer site, but that does not mean that it's going to happen there at Richer. Possibly could. That was something that was discussed when we were approaching the last build, but we really have to work with the state, and they have a lot to say about what we do and how we move forward.
So I guess I'm confused.
So when you approach a building project, in our case, it goes under revisions of Richer. But just as we did when we got Good Now, we asked for upgrades to Richer, and the state said, no.
Oh, so
you
it might be
need-
just an upgrade.
No, it's doubtful. I mean, as they looked at Richer the last time, they knew that there was a new facility that was needed. We needed a 4th elementary school. In this case, we don't need a 5th.
I guess that was my
Right.
question.
We don't need
So
a
thank you.
5th. So
Thank you.
I think the dream would be that we replace Richer in some way, shape, or form, whether it's at its site. There's not many sites left in the city without purchasing or converting something. But that is where this whole feasibility study comes into play and what they look at. And they look at all the parcels of land, they look at what capacity is supposed to be again, and that's our biggest struggle, so.
And just to be the person here on election night, Richer School is near and dear to my heart because all 3 of my sons went there.
Right, and I think one thing, though, that we have to take into consideration that definitely the state is that Richer currently has a number of the modulars that are on the back of the building, if you will.
I remember them well.
And that actually is something that is very specific when they're looking at the site. The modulars would actually have to not be part of the consideration. So that's why it's a matter of whether they build on and up to Richer, whether it's a new site, potentially actually nearby Richer or something like that. But the modulars actually come into play because they would have to actually go away for a new building or an upgrade to the existing building.
And when my sons were there, not to sound very Boston, but the modulars were wicked cool.
Yes.
They were such a great addition to the school.
And they are wicked cool.
And the school committee has such a huge job on their hands, and it's great that people wanted to run for re-election, and I know neither one of you have children still in the school system, so it shows your dedication to the city. So I for one can only say thank you for standing up there and doing that.
Thank you. I think both of us are really committed to wanting to do the best that we can on behalf of all of Marlboro, and we really like what we've been doing. Obviously, there are challenges along the way, but we want to work together, not only on the committee, but also with the state and very closely with City Council, because it really takes all of us collaborating together to do what's best on behalf of Marlboro.
It takes a village, for sure.
It takes a village.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Thank
Congratulations.
you. Thank you so much.
So welcome back, and we're here with one of our mayoral candidates, J. Christian Dumas. I'm just going to call you Christian.
Totally fine.
Okay. So he's just jumping in. It's 9 o'clock, You're still waiting for results to come
We are,
in. So they're
yes.
coming in fast and furious, but I'm so happy that you stopped by to say hello.
Absolutely.
So just give us an idea of what your day was like.
Oh, my day was so incredibly overwhelming. I just want to extend my gratitude to Councilor Perlman for a fantastic race. It's been a very long journey, but it's been an incredible journey, and today just proved that with all the honks and the beeps and the waves and the text messages and the love and the support from the community. I've never felt so much love before, and it's such an incredible community. I'm so happy.
So people watch sports, you know?
I guess
Politics
I
is
guess
like
that's a
my
thing.
sport. So
It
I'm going to
is,
say
it
I
is.
drove around town today. I saw all your sign holders around town.
Yes.
That's not an easy thing
No.
to get people to go out and do that. And to just gather, I mean, you're relying on your friends and their
gosh.
friends, and it's
Yeah.
been a lot, I'm sure.
It's a great point. I want to thank all the supporters and the volunteers that worked tirelessly on this campaign and just spreading the word and the love. And like I said, it's been truly overwhelming.
And you know, to have two city councilors running
Yeah.
for mayor, I have to say I have to commend you both. It was a very above board campaign.
It was.
It didn't have to be that way, but you both kept it that way. And you should be both proud of yourselves for the great campaigns you both ran.
Absolutely, and I have nothing but the utmost respect for Councilor Perlman and her education and what she brings to the table. She's extremely ambitious, and that drive is something that I think a lot of people would respect, and as do I. And that's what's so great about this community. Like, we all live and work and play here, and we all have to face each other at the end of the day. We sit next to each other on the council floor, and we'll have a meeting on Monday. And being civil together, it's can be tough sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, but to put yourself up there, you're walking away from your city council seat.
Yeah.
You cannot be on the ballot twice. So,
I wouldn't want to be if I could. Oh my God.
but you can't be on the ballot twice.
Yeah.
So one of you is coming back to City Hall and one of
Yeah.
you is going home.
And, you know, and, that's
And that
the
takes
big-
a lot of commitment to be able to do that.
And it's a big risk, because I think I can speak for myself, but I truly love being able to represent this community, and to it's all or nothing, and to put yourself out there. You know, I don't think a lot of people understood that. You know, like, oh, what are you going to do? I'm like, well, that's it for me. You know, like, God forbid if I should lose, that's it. You know,
I don't think that's it for you if you should lose,
But from the council's standpoint, you know, I have
Right,
to give
yeah.
back my key card to enter City Hall, and that to me has been such a great gift to be able to come into this remarkable building with all this history, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
it's been great.
it's been an honor and a pleasure to, to get to know you during the campaign.
it has.
You have served your ward well.
Thank you. I hope
And-
so. I hope so.
Oh, I'm sure they
Yeah,
think that,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So it's
Yeah. You know, and it's a true honor for me to actually serve. You know, I believe in the word public servant and not a politician, and that's what I came to do, and that's what I will continue to when elected. You know, unofficially, I think we have it, but I can't wait to serve the great people in this community.
Well, it's been a pleasure.
The pleasure is mine.
Congratulations and
Thank
best of
you.
luck,
Thank
Councilor
you.
Dumas.
Thank you, Ms. Pope. I appreciate that. Yes, and enjoy the next interview, huh? Yeah.
Yes,
and
I
again,
will.
everyone else out there, please, I cannot thank you enough for the outgoing support. It truly, truly is extremely humbling and, like I said, overwhelming. So thank you for all the love. I could not have done it without you. So thank you.
And
thank
I
you for
want
the
to
time.
reiterate that
So,
it's,
yeah.
it's 5 after 9, and you
Yeah.
took the time to come down here and talk to us,
Yes,
so we
I
appreciate that
have
as well.
about 100 people waiting to celebrate, and I'm ready to have that well-deserved cocktail. So, so I'm going to thank you, everyone, and have a great night. And again, thank you truly from the bottom of my heart. I can't. I've been tearing up this whole night, so I'm going to leave before I do get emotional. And thank you for the time.
Best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I'm here with Tom Dalton, who
Yes.
ran for the Ward 4 City Council race. What do you think?
I think it was a fair election. I'm grateful for the experience. Tiona and I have become great friends. Believe it or not, I didn't even know who she was until I ran for the election, but she's just a great person and a great woman.
So putting your name out there and having run the race, congratulations to you.
Thank
It's
you.
not an easy thing to do.
Thank you.
Did you have fun doing it?
Oh, it was amazing. From start to finish, you guys really ran a great event. Being over at the Senior Center for the Halloween event was great. Being in the parade with the IC Church was just phenomenal. You guys just have a lot of love and respect for people, and it was
So
good.
do you think we'll see you back in politics again?
Oh, of course.
Okay. What's your next aspiration?
I'll run for mayor in about 4 years.
In about 4 years?
I'll give Christian a run for his money.
Well, it's nice to see. You didn't prevail tonight, but it's nice to see your smiling face and you had a good time running, and it was the right thing to do for the city because you know what? Opposition is good, and you don't have to make it ugly. You just have to run for what you believe in. So congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure to get to know you, Tom.
Nice to meet you as
Thank
well.
you for putting your name out there.
Thank you.
So we're sitting here with Councilor at Large Katie Roby, who is running for your what term?
My seventh term. I'm finishing
term?
my sixth.
You finished your 6th term as Councilor at Large.
Correct.
And do you know a fun fact about you that I can tell you?
And probably a few fun facts, but
Pretty soon. Well, you know what? You have a long-standing service with the city. You started in 2000? No. You served on the school committee for 16 years before you jumped over to city council without a moment's breath. So you are one of our longest-serving consecutive elected officials.
oh, wow.
Even
Okay.
tonight, before we know the results. So congratulations, Councilor Roby,
Thank you.
and one of the very few women to have ever done that.
It's nice to be elected by the residents of Marlborough, that's for sure.
So you jumped from school committee to city council?
Yes, at the school committee level, we call that going to the dark side.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. And now that you've been on the dark side for quite some time, how's that been going for you?
It's been going well. I love doing it. It's a great position to be in. I love being on urban affairs. I was on finance for a while, but
I was fortunate enough to serve with you for many, many years. You're a counselor that does your homework.
I try.
You count your P's, you do it all. So really, you've dedicated a lot to this city, and we are so grateful to have you. We hope that you prevail tonight. So how are you feeling about tonight?
I'm feeling a lot warmer now that I got to be inside for a while. It got cold out there.
At the very end of
at
the
the
day,
very end of the
truth be
day.
told, it was a beauty day out there.
Yeah, well, it started cold and then it ended cold. It was beautiful for the most part of it. But June 21st has nothing on the longest day. It's always election day.
It's always election day, that's right, because you're up early, you're out late.
And you're out late, yes.
Yeah.
Those are long 13 hours.
So where did you spend most of your day today?
I roamed. I spent a lot of it at Whitcomb in the morning, and then I went to the senior center for a while, went to Kane. I hit Hildreth. So
You had sign holders everywhere because, as I mentioned earlier, election day is my sport. So I did ride around and I looked at all the sign holders and stuff because many a year I had to tap my friends on the shoulder to do that.
It's hard to
and-
get the sign holders, yes. So
But you know what? They're happy to do it, and it's a long, fun day because even your opponent's sign holders are fun.
yes, it's always,
There's no animosity
No,
on
I-
election day.
It was great
It's
learning
just, yeah.
about other people and why they're there and what they're doing, and people's friends that come out of nowhere to stand and hold signs. So
And I
it's
saw your
good.
family out there.
Yes.
Yeah, because where would we be without our
Without-
families?
Yes, they
That's right.
definitely are supportive and get them to hold those signs.
So right now, you're feeling pretty good. We don't have any official numbers,
We
but it
have-
looks like unofficially.
Unofficially,
You'll be
it looks
returning
like I am
to
returning.
the city council.
Yes.
So that's a good thing for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And this campaign, did you run it differently than any of your others?
No, I don't think I did, really. I think I am well enough known in the city that people either like me or don't like me. And
And that's a hard thing.
it is a hard thing,
It's
yes.
a hard thing,
Yes.
because you're only as good as your last vote, and then you could be gone to them.
Yes,
So, yeah.
I'll have to figure out, because unofficially, other people that had more votes than me, I think one of them was door knocking a lot. The other one, I don't know what his trick is.
Well, Well, congratulations, Councilor Rowby. I hope our unofficial results are true, and it has been a pleasure to serve with you in the past, and I'm glad that you're returning to the City Council.
Thank you very much.
Hey there, welcome back. We are here, Trish Pope and myself, and we do have some unofficial numbers here for you. We have 6 of the 14 precincts who have delivered their results. And at the time, again, these are unofficial results, J. Christian Dumas has a slight edge on Samantha Perlman. So again, we still have 8 more precincts to come, but so I just wanted to give you the heads up that he has a slight edge at the moment there. And for our councilors at large, leading the way so far, again, only 6 of 14. We have Mike Ossing, and then Sean Navin, and then after that, Katie Roby and Mark Orem. So the 3 incumbents and Councilor Navin, at the moment, will be taking their spots at the for the at-large spots. And the one looking from the outside in is Scott King. Again, unofficial results. We'll have more numbers as the night goes on. But we're going to deviate from that to Trish and some more of her fun facts.
We're going to do a couple of City Council fun facts at this point.
All right.
Okay? We all love them. We have many, many city councilors over the years that have served for 18 terms or more, 18 years or more, excuse me. But tonight, should Councilor Ossing be reelected, he will be the longest serving city councilor at large at 24 years.
Wow.
That is a long time. And I also have another fun fact, because we have a councilor that served and then didn't serve and then came back again, and that would be Councilor Richard Yerkes. He is the only councilor to have run and held the seat 3 different times. He served at-large from 1994 to 1995, again from 1998 to 2005, and then he served Ward 2 before he started all of that from 1992 to 1993. So we have a lot of history here on the City Council. Our mayor, who is retiring tonight, he served 18 consecutive years as an at-large councilor, and he was council president for 9 of those years. Not to pat myself on the back, but I also served 18 years.
Wow.
And I was not an at-large councilor. I was at-large for 10 years. Initially, I started my run serving the city as the ward councilor. So I served the ward from 1998 to 2005. And then from 2006 to 2015, I was at large, and I was the president for 4 years. Dennis Hunt, who served as our city councilor. He served as a ward councilor, city councilor at large, and as our mayor. So he was there for 18 years as well. So we have a lot of history here going back, and those are just the good old days that I can remember. But there is long before us. I mean, we had Ray LaValle, who, interestingly, fun fact, the only city councilor who also served as the city clerk.
Oh, wow.
He was the city clerk for the city from 1954 to 1958 before he ran for office. We have a lot of history here in the city. We have folks that served and then walked away and came back and served again.
Just couldn't get enough.
Well, you know what? I think sometimes when you feel like you want to serve this city, if you walk away and you look and see what's happening, you think maybe I can come back and help it out again. Nobody ever comes back and says they can do a better job. They just come back and say they can assist with the job. So it's been an interesting run for everybody. We have some fun. So right today, our city councilors today, okay? We have Laura Wagner in Ward 1, who has served for 2 years. David Doucette, who has served for 8, and his race is still not accounted for. Ward 2, we don't have any results from Ward 2 just yet.
Oh, check
We
my
have
notes.
Christian
Nope.
Dumas, who has served 8 years as the Ward 3 city councilor. He's currently running for mayor. Tiona Brown, who we heard was reelected. She has been currently 2 years serving, so now she's serving her 2nd term. John Irish, who has served the city for 12 years, and John Irish is one of the few city council candidates tonight that was running unopposed.
Low stress night for Councilor
Low
Irish.
stress night for him, and the people in Ward 5 obviously are very happy with Councilor Irish. Sean Navin has served as the Ward 6 city councilor. He is also running at large tonight, so he is giving up his seat at Ward 6. We talked to Trey Ficillo, who is the new Ward 6 city councilor. He's got some big shoes to fill. We haven't heard any results from Ward 7. I know that was a highly contested race tonight between Don Landers and Harmony Larson. Don Landers has served 16 years on the city council, but before that, he served many, many years in the capacity of the schools.
Sure.
He was a principal, he was...
Educator, principal.
He was the
superintendent.
assistant superintendent,
okay.
so he has served the city very, very long. We have no results from that ward just yet. Mark Oram has 22 years of service. He is from 2012 until present. He's the city councilor at large, but he took a little hiatus, came back to us as an at-large councilor. He served as the ward councilor for Ward 6 from 1990 to 2001. Michael Ossing, as we had talked about earlier, is our present city councilor at large. He's been there since 2000. And Katie Roby has been an at-large councilor since 2012. So we have a lot of history just in our city council.
Absolutely.
We have one councilor that's walking away from her seat because she's relocating to be closer to her family.
That's Councilor Wagner, correct?
Councilor Wagner has done a great job for her ward, and it'll be interesting to see what happens, as it's very kind of unprecedented that a vacancy, somebody's going to walk right into it, which we met tonight with Councilor Vital.
Right.
So Ward 1 must be feeling pretty comfortable over there. I don't know what's going on.
I would imagine so, but again, for Councilor Vital, nice stress-free night, not having
No
to worry about
kidding,
any type
yeah.
of campaign over the last few months. Gets to run unopposed, and now he gets to join the city council.
Right.
Good for him.
Yep, we're going to take a little bit of a break because we hear some commotion out in the hall, but we'll come back with a little more mayoral fun facts.
Sure thing.
So I'm sitting here with Councilor Navin, who up until just recently was the Ward 6 city councilor,
Yep.
and you decided to make the jump at large.
I did.
And unofficially, we are hearing that you will be one of our at-large councilors.
It looks that way. I'm very excited.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So tell me, what made you want to make that jump?
Yeah, so it's a little bit of a personal situation. So we've got a little one at home who's just turned 2, and we're, a little space strapped at the house. And so as we continue to, look for maybe a home to be our forever home, it's a little bit easier when you're not just limited to one ward. And so when the at-large seat opened up, it was a good opportunity for the family. So we spent 6 months getting to know people across the city.
Very nice, very nice. I know that when I was a ward councilor, I made that jump as well,
Yes, you did.
for different reasons. But that's really, really a great thing to hear, that you think so much about the city of Marlborough that, if you're looking to relocate, you're hoping that you're going to relocate here in this city. So
Yeah.
we are lucky to have you, for sure.
Well, I appreciate
but
that.
that's a big commitment for you and your wife.
Yeah, it is. I love serving on the city council. The past 4 years have been great. I love being the Ward 6 city councilor. And I didn't want to have to give up, being able to make a difference and trying to make an impact. I say it a lot, and it sounds cliche, but I think local government is the place where we can make the biggest impact on people's everyday lives, and I really like serving. So
I couldn't agree with you more with that statement. And many moons ago, I was fortunate enough to serve with your sister Mara.
yes,
Mara and I were on the city council
that's right.
together.
Yep.
So it's something, I know your dad was long entrenched in politics.
Yep.
So it's something you grew up with.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's a gift.
Yeah.
That is passed down from generations to generations, to be able to love your community that much, because you know how much goes into that. I don't think a lot of people understand.
Yeah.
I mean, they look at a city councilor as, oh, it's a city councilor.
Right.
They don't understand, you can't go oftentimes to the grocery store.
No, you cannot go to the grocery store. That is one place you cannot go.
Right.
Yeah, no, we were very fortunate. As you mentioned, my sisters. We were raised by two awesome public servants. My mom was a guidance counselor and a school teacher, and my dad was a state rep and a city councilor a long, long time ago. And they really kind of instilled in us the importance of public service. And you said it right. It's a gift, and I'm grateful to have it.
Oh, and we're grateful to have you. So congratulations, Councilor Navin.
Thank you.
Happy to see you coming back.
Thank you very much. I'm
Yes,
excited.
it's very exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting for you and your family. I wish I could tell you where you should move, but
I wish we could find someplace, but now we have some opportunities, and first up is spend a little bit more time at home over the next couple of months, and then we'll see.
yeah. And your son is 2?
He just turned 2 a couple weeks ago.
And I know that I saw you Labor Day
Yep.
with him at the parade.
Yep.
And what did he think of all of that?
He loved it. He
was quite the trooper, I have to tell you. It was a hot, hot day.
95-degree day.
Yeah, it was a hot,
I
hot
think
day.
he liked Halloween a lot more than he liked Labor Day. Between the trunk or treat up at the campus and the Horribles parade, he really enjoyed being able to hand some candy out and to dress up. So I think Halloween is maybe a little bit more favorite for him.
And another generation of Navins that is going to be entrenched in this city.
We hope so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks again.
And as the night wears on, I'm here with my friend Dawn Landers, who is the current Ward 7 City Councilor. And it appears right now that you will be returning to that seat.
I'm very pleased. I've said right along that I'd like to work for the city for 2 more years. I had 30 years in the school department, 16 years on city council, this 2 years. It'll give me a chance to do a few more things, to work with some of my colleagues, especially, Mike Ossing and Katie Roby and, some of us. And, we have a lot of important things to do. We got some rezoning issues to talk about, got the fire station to talk about and do something about. And, I want 2 more years, and that will be it, though.
So I do want to let folks know these are very unofficial results. Currently, our last count was Dawn Landers has prevailed over Harmony Larson by 47 votes.
That's great.
So it's a very small margin. Harmony ran a great campaign. She's a lovely person that I got to meet at the senior center at the Halloween party. And I know that it's never easy when you have an opponent, but I will say you both ran you ran an upstanding campaign, just talking about the history of the city, why you love the city, and why you want to continue to serve.
You're right. I do love the city. Also, the city has been so good to me. I worked in the school department for 30 years.
Did you work in the school department, Tom?
At five different jobs. Department head, vice principal, acting principal, computer, and then assistant superintendent for 13 years. And half the jobs I didn't apply for. Dawn, will you help me out? Will you help do this? And I took advantage of that. The city council, as Mike Austin said, it took me 3 times. 3rd time's the charm. I lost for Ward 7, and then I ran at large. I lost that, but I hung in there because it's something I really wanted to do.
And as a city councilor, I know when I served with you, what is one of your most favorite things to do? As a city councilor with a new employee, a new department head, what do you love to do?
I know and love the city so much. I'd give tours. I didn't care if it was the fire chief, building inspector, all the way down the line. I'd give a 3 or 4 hour tour. I used to take the teachers on a bus tour at first.
I've heard about that.
But the non-teachers, we'd do a 3 or 4 hour tour and then end up at the Prospector for the best hamburger in town. And
There you go. Bobby Case would love that you said that.
I love that.
Well, congratulations on your campaign. Again, it's unofficial results, but it does look like you'll be returning to your city council seat.
And I'm very, very pleased. But Trish, I want to thank you too. You did a lot for me when I was a beginning councilor.
Thank you.
Sometimes you yell at me, but
Not me.
But you did give me a lot of heads up, and I think that made me, a better council.
Well, I appreciate
for knowing
that.
you and working with you.
Well, thank you. It's a city that we both love.
Yeah, That's true. Truer words couldn't be said. Okay,
Congratulations,
thanks again.
Council Leandro.
Yep, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So one of the last few results to come in tonight was the Ward 3. And I'm here with Robert Preciado, who is our new Ward 3 City Councilor. Congratulations to you on a campaign well run. But I have to ask, you jumped into this campaign as a virtual unknown. What made you do it?
I think really love for my community, and I really want to see my daughter grow up in a city that is thriving and has a lot to offer for her.
That's the best reason to get into local politics. Now, for a while there in the campaign, you thought you were going to waltz into this seat. And then out of the blue, you got a write-in candidate.
That was quite a thrilling moment, finding out that someone was running against me. I wish it would have been from the beginning. We could have had a debate. That would have been, I think, serving the community a lot better to have two people to pick from. But we got our volunteers together. We knocked on doors and we got out as much as we could, and here we are now.
And I heard today, fortunately, a lovely day, you had your little girl out there on the campaign trail with you.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to have her all day with me. She was out holding signs with us in the morning.
Well, she wasn't really holding signs.
She was holding the sign for me.
Isn't she like
would
one
not
and a half or two?
She would not let go. Yeah,
Okay.
she's got a good grip on her, but she was very excited to be out there. I've knocked doors with her as well, and people love seeing baby. Who doesn't?
Yeah. So congratulations to you. It's very exciting. Your first soiree into politics, I believe, correct?
Yep, that's correct, yeah.
Not in college, not in...
Nope. I have served as a volunteer for other groups in the city, Marlboro Makers and One Marlboro. So I've done some community work so far, but
So
not in actual government.
Well, it's really exciting to have you and a fresh new voice and a fresh set of eyes. It's very exciting for the city. And I know you have a lot to offer, so congratulations to you.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Best of luck in the next 2 years.
Yeah, thank you.
Enjoy. Well, welcome back, and we have one more guest for us this evening. We have Councilor at Large, Mark Oram, who has just been re-elected to your seat. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. It's overwhelming. And I really want to just note that, and as Tom probably knows, it's the spouse I thank first. My wife had to go through the trenches with me. Right. So I want to thank her, obviously, my entire family and friends that helped me through the process. And more, just as important, not more, I'm going to be in trouble at home, but just as important are the voters and the people that came out to support me. I truly appreciate it. When you run a full city council, you've been at large. When you run at large, you got to get out to a lot of doors, and it's not easy to get to all the doors. So, but I thank the people who voted in Marlboro. That's who I pledge my allegiance to every day on the floor.
And Mark, you have quite an illustrious career here in the city.
Oh, yes.
Because you served us very well.
Yes, thank you.
In the ward capacity.
Thank you.
And your family was young.
They
and
were.
You decided that you were going to retreat to home.
Yes.
And then you came back again.
Yes, and that retreat was to this day, I thank the councilor that took the seat in 2002. That was Ed Clancy. Mm-hmm. It was close. It was 10 votes, but to this day, I thank him because my kids were young, and I got to enjoy 10 years of their fantastic years. Little League, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, my daughter running, my son's running. It just school sports. Thank you, God, maybe. Maybe sometimes things are God sent, in my view,
But you never lost your love for serving the city, so you came back.
I did, and to all my fellows who ran, very important, they stuck their neck out. As you know, you've been through campaigns. And I came back in 2010. I was not successful. I came in 5th. And again, you just learn to get back on track. And I went back again in 12 and got in 12. So again, I feel for the ones that couldn't win, but there's always the future in
right, and we hope that they don't lose their drive. Because,
exactly.
Put your name on the ballot is such a unbelievable, frightening feeling.
Yeah.
And then to prevail or not to prevail, but to put yourself out there to the general public, we have to give everybody a round of congratulations that put their neck out there tonight.
They can all hang their heads
know?
high, as they say,
And
because it
they
takes a
only
lot.
did it because they love this city.
That's right.
Because
and I
nobody
agree.
does this lightly.
No, and it's a big responsibility when you're campaigning to
It
try to
certainly
get the
is.
voters out there.
And you put yourself
Yeah,
out there and your
yeah.
entire family.
I don't know what the percentage was on the voting, but again, I'm glad to see more voters getting out there. I think we had more than the primary, if I'm not
Well,
mistaken.
I was looking at percentages earlier this evening. The last time we had a really significant turnout was in 1985.
Oh, wow.
When Mayor McGorty was challenged by Mary Jo Naraki.
Okay.
And that's the last time we had a very significant turnout in the vote. Unfortunately, voting has dwindled from that aspect, and to me, I don't understand. Having been a local politician, local politics touches your life every single day.
It sure does, right?
You know,
right
you
to
can.
the
They
home.
can call your house, Councilor Orem, and
Yes,
they're going to
they
get
can.
you on the phone, or they're going to get you the next day if they get your
That's
answering
true. And I've
machine.
heard some of the discussion, they can find me at Price Choppers, Hannaford's.
Exactly.
I might be in Market Basket in Hudson if they want to
Exactly.
chase me to that grocery.
Right, but-
And I don't mind. I was going to Price Choppers on Sunday night this week, planned on 15 minutes. I was there for an hour talking to a constituent.
Mm-hmm.
So I love talking. I like talking when I'm down at the senior center enjoying some of your events as well. So
Thank you.
a social butterfly, I guess, but I also take government very serious. I don't call myself a politician. I call myself a representative for that reason, because I don't like politics. I don't think it belongs in representation, so I'm looking forward to doing
and I
it again.
have to say, Mark, that's a really good way to term it, because I think that folks that run on the local level, they run for the love of their community.
I agree.
They,
I
you know,
agree.
so congratulations to
Thank
you,
you.
and that's a great statement to say.
Well, thank you.
Welcome back to the City Council.
Thank you very much, and thank you for this interview, and thank you to WMCT-TV.
Thanks,
Trish.
Councilor.
Thank you.
All right, welcome back. This is the moment that we have all been waiting for. Months on end, campaigns, debates, it's all come down to this. So we will start off with the mayoral race between Jay Christian Dumas and Samantha Perlman. And by a count of 3,592 votes to 3,249 votes, Jay Christian Dumas looks like he will become the 44th mayor in the history of Marlborough. So congratulations to him. Again, unofficial results, but congratulations to him and his team. Councilors at large. We'll start with the most to the least amount of votes. Most votes goes to Mark Orem. Second would be Sean Navin. Third, Mike Ossing. And fourth, Kathleen Roby. So the odd man out would be Scott King, so he will not join those other councilors at large. Ward 1 race, Mark Vital ran unopposed, so he will occupy that seat. Ward 2, David Doucette has defeated James Jumonville. Excuse me while I turn my page here. Ward 3, Robert Preciado has defeated his write-in opponent, Stephen Judd. Ward 4, Tiona Brown has defeated Thomas Dalton. Ward 5, John Irish has won. He was unopposed. Ward 6, Albert Trey Paciulio has defeated Maureen Brennan, so he will become a ward councilor there. And the Ward 7 race between Don Landers and Harmony Larson has ended with Don Landers taking it in a very, very close race. So we have Steve Kerrigan here, Marlborough City Clerk.
Before we get there, we just do want to let people know that all of our school committee candidates, we're all running unopposed. They'll all be returning, as
Correct.
will Peggy Ayers to the Aspet Valley School Committee.
Thank you for clearing that up. Appreciate you. So Steve, long night, huh?
Yes, it's been a long day, but that's okay. It's all worth it.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Talk to me a little bit about what you anticipated the voter turnout being and what it ended up being.
Sure. All along, I've said, honestly, Matt, I thought we'd get about 30% turnout. I was cautiously optimistic and very hopeful that we would get 30%. It saddens me to say that such a low number because it is a local election. We did end up with officially it's 20, or unofficially I should say right now, 27.8%. So just about 28% of Marlboro's 25,000 registered, roughly 25,000 registered voters came out and voted. So that's where we stand unofficially at this moment.
And can I interject just for a minute there with our preliminary election? So is it preliminary or primary?
Preliminary. We have a
Preliminary
election.
election, we had almost 20% come out to
Correct.
vote. So we just had a very small margin ahead of that came out to vote in the general election. I, with you, agree that that is very sad.
Correct. I mean,
Local politics, I can't stress this enough, it touches your life every single day.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think it's, as we've said, it's very important that, you know, people get out and vote. You just mentioned it a few moments ago with Councilor Orem, that, you know, these are the people, this is where the rubber meets the road. People can meet with the mayor, meet with their councilors, meet with the school committee members, and affect change here in the city on a daily basis. So this is the most important election. All elections are important, trust me, from my perspective as the city clerk and the staff in my office. We work just as hard for a local election as we will next year for the, you know, 3 elections that we're gonna have next year. But I think municipal elections are probably one of the most important that you could have, so.
Absolutely. Hopefully, next election we'll have a better turnout. Hopefully I know we will, Matt.
We will.
We'll get over that 30%
I hope
threshold.
so.
Now, before we get out of here for the evening,
I do
Trish,
want to say that it's been an honor to be here tonight. I do wish our mayor-elect, Christian Dumas, the best of luck. He has very large shoes to fill. Mayor Vigent has left us in a very good standing here in the city. So it's going to be hard to walk into that seat and fill those shoes, but I'm sure he's going to do it very affably. We have a couple of new faces coming on to the city council. Change is good. Change is always good, and elections are always good because it brings out the conversation in the community. This election for me was the very first time I saw all of this go so viral on Facebook, and it was interesting to read the comments and hear what people had to say. There were a lot of thoughts and there were a lot of comments out there. Sadly, all those thoughts and comments didn't parlay into votes, and perhaps next time they will. But it's been just so much fun to watch this election. I mean, I love having all these candidates come out here. As I said, the first time I was elected to public office, we had 7 new councilors and a new mayor. We're not quite to that statistic this year, but we have some new faces, some fresh ideas, and the city is headed in a good direction. So thank you to all of you that put your name on the ballot, to all of you that supported candidates, that went out there and knocked the doors and to help them. You dropped the leaflets, you made the phone calls. It's part of the process. That's why we're America. Thank you so much.
well said, Trish. Well, to reiterate, thanks to Mayor Vigent for his 30 years of public service to the city of Marlboro. Congratulations to J. Christian Dumas, Mayor-elect. He'll be sworn in on January 1st. We'll all be there. Can't wait.
Sure will be.
So for Trish Pope and Steve Kerrigan and the rest of the staff here for WMCT-TV, we really want to thank you so much for joining us here for our live coverage of Election Night 2023. So for everyone, I'm Matt, and take care.